Welcome back to NT Coins World, your go-to channel for all things numismatics. If you love collecting coins or just want to know if that old penny in your pocket is worth a fortune, then you're in the right place. Topmost two Lincoln pennies, the 1971 S Lincoln penny and 1982 Lincoln penny. In today's video, we're diving deep into some of the most sought-after Lincoln pennies that collectors dream of finding. These coins may look ordinary at first glance, but they can be worth far more than their face value due to rarity, errors, and high collector demand. Stay tuned as we explore each coin's history, design, mintage, errors, and market value, so you'll know exactly what to look for in your collection. Now let's jump into our list of top Lincoln pennies worth money, starting with the 1971 S Lincoln penny. The 1971 S Lincoln penny is a fascinating coin for collectors due to its proof and business strike variations, as well as its connection to the famous Lincoln Memorial series. Let's take a closer look at its history, design, errors, and value in today's market. The Lincoln Memorial penny series ran from 1959 to 2008, featuring the reverse design of the Lincoln Memorial, which replaced the earlier wheat cent design. The 1971 S penny was minted in San Francisco, a facility known for producing both proof and business strike coins during this period. During the early 1970s, the US economy was experiencing inflation, leading to rising metal prices. While pennies were still being minted from 95% copper and 5% zinc, the increasing cost of copper was becoming a concern for the US Mint. This issue would later lead to the transition to zinc-coated cents in 1982. The 1971 S penny is significant for its proof mintage, which includes some highly sought-after varieties, making it a prized piece for collectors. The obverse front of the 1971 S penny features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. This design has been a staple of US coinage for over a century, with only minor modifications over the years. Inscriptions on the obverse include, "In God We Trust," above Lincoln's head, "Liberty" to the left, the year 1971 to the right, the mint mark S below the date, indicating it was struck in San Francisco. The reverse back of the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo in 1959. The detailed columns of the memorial are visible, and if you look closely, you can even see the statue of Lincoln seated inside, "United States of America" at the top, the denomination 1 cent at the bottom, the motto "A pluribus unum" between the memorial and the country's name. The proof versions of this penny have a mirror-like finish, while business strikes have a regular circulation appearance. The 1971 S penny was minted in both proof and business strike versions. Proof mintage 3,220,733. Business strike mintage estimated lower, but exact numbers are debated among collectors. The proof pennies were struck with special dies and polished blanks, giving them a distinct reflective surface. They were sold in proof sets directly to collectors rather than being released into circulation. Some 1971 S Lincoln pennies are highly valuable due to errors and unique variations. Here are the most significant ones. One of the most famous errors in the Lincoln Memorial Cent series is the 1971 S doubled die obverse. This variety shows strong doubling on the inscriptions, especially in "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date. Collectors prize this coin due to its dramatic doubling, making it easy to spot without magnification. Some 1971 S pennies were struck off-center, meaning part of the design is missing. Off-center strikes of 50% or more with a visible date and mint mark can be worth hundreds of dollars. Some coins show die cracks around the letters, creating unique visual effects. A BIE error occurs when a small die break appears between the letters B and E in Liberty. These are collectible, but not as valuable as a doubled die. Proof pennies from 1971 S can be found in Cameo, CAM and Deep Cameo DCAM finishes. These coins have a frosty raised design against a mirror-like background, making them especially desirable. The value of a 1971 S Lincoln penny depends on its condition, strike type, and rarity. Here's a breakdown of market prices. Business strike, circulated and uncirculated. Circulated worn condition, typically worth 1 to 5 cents. Uncirculated MS 65 plus can range from $10 to $50 depending on quality. Regular proof, PR 65 to PR 69, $3 to $15. Cameo, PR 67 plus $30 to $100 depending on the strength of the cameo contrast. Deep Cameo PR 69 DCAM can exceed $200, with perfect PR 70 examples selling for several $100s. 1971 SDDO Double Die Obverse MS 63, $150 to $300. MS 65, $500 to $1,000. MS 67 can exceed $5,000. Off-center strikes 50% plus $50 to $300, depending on how much of the design is missing. BIE errors and die cracks typically range from $10 to $50. The 1971 S Lincoln penny is a must-have for collectors due to its historical significance, proof, and business strike variations, and valuable error coins. While most regular 1971 S pennies are only worth a few cents, certain proof, cameo, and error varieties can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Before 1982, Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that had been in place since 1962. However, by the early 1980s, the price of copper was rising rapidly. The cost of producing a penny was approaching its face value, which meant that the US Mint needed a more affordable alternative. After experimenting with different materials, the Mint decided to switch to a copper-plated zinc composition, which would drastically reduce production costs. This change happened midway through 1982, meaning both copper and zinc pennies were produced in the same year. Additionally, the size of the date's numerals was changed, leading to two distinct design variations, large date and small date. This makes 1982 pennies highly collectible, as there are a total of 7 different varieties to look out for. The 1982 Lincoln penny features the classic Victor D. Brenner obverse design of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been in use since 1909. Obverse front details: Abraham Lincoln's bust faces right. "In God We Trust" is inscribed above his head. The word "Liberty" is to the left. The date, 1982, is to the right. Some coins have a mint mark below the date, indicating where they were minted. No mint mark, Philadelphia, .D Denver, reverse. Back details: the design features the Lincoln Memorial, created by Frank Gasparo in 1959. If you look closely, you can even see the statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. United States of America is written along the top. A pluribus unum appears just above the memorial. The denomination 1 cent is at the bottom. Though the design remained the same, the key differences in 1982 pennies lie in their metal composition and the size of the date numerals. Because of the composition switch and date size variation, there are 7 different varieties of 1982 pennies. This variety makes 1982 Lincoln pennies a favorite among collectors, especially since some of these coins are harder to find in high grades. There's a simple way to tell if a 1982 penny is made of copper or zinc. Weigh the coin. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh 2.5 grams. Drop test. Copper coins make a solid ringing sound when dropped on a hard surface, while zinc coins have a dull sound. Some 1982 Lincoln cents have valuable errors and varieties, making them even more desirable for collectors. Here are the key ones to look for. This is the rarest and most valuable of all 1982 Lincoln pennies. Officially, all 1982 D small date pennies should be zinc, but a few were mistakenly struck on copper planchets. Only a handful have been found, making them incredibly rare. Value. A high-grade example sold for $18,800 at auction. Some 1982 pennies show noticeable doubling on "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." While not as dramatic as some famous double die errors, they can still bring in good money. Value can range from $50 to $300 depending on grade. Some 1982 pennies were struck off-center, meaning part of the design is missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible. Value $50 to $200 plus depending on the severity of the error. Small die cracks can form around letters, creating unique error coins. The BIE error occurs when a die break appears between B and E in LIBERTY. Value $10 to $50 depending on prominence. Here's a general price guide for 1982 Lincoln pennies based on grade and rarity. The most valuable coin to look for is the 1982 D small date copper penny, which is worth thousands if authenticated. The 1971 S Lincoln penny and 1982 Lincoln penny is one of the most exciting and important coins in US numismatics. The composition change, multiple varieties and rare errors make it a must-have for both beginner and advanced collectors. If you find any 1971 S and 1982 pennies, check them carefully, especially if they are Denver small date versions. You could be holding a small fortune in your hands. Have you ever found a valuable 1971 S and 1982 Lincoln penny? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching NT Coins World. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more rare coin discoveries. Until next time, happy collecting.